What's up, everybody? We are going to be talking about this week's Final Order Cutoff books for indie comics. That's right, the indie comics on this week's Final Order Cutoff. That is the last day that your shop can order these books. That is the day that you can guarantee that you get these books, and I'm here to tell you about the books I think are great reads, things that you should be picking up to read. I'm not here to tell you what's going to become the next hot book or the one that's going to make you $1 million, but I'm here to tell you about the stories. So if you want to hear about those, stay tuned through this whole video to check out all of these awesome books that are on Final Order Cutoff. We're going to start at the top of the list for Final Order Cutoff, and that is going through the catalog on the Previews World website and the Final Orders Due page. And we're going to look at something from Image Comics that is a new one called Monarch. It is from Rodney Barnes and Alex Linz. It is the first issue of a new tale of terror and high-stakes science fiction that's hitting close to home. Growing up in the city of Compton is tough enough as it is, but as Trayvon has learned all too well, growing up as an orphan in the city of Compton with gang members hunting you down every day is even tougher. But all that is about to change, because today is the day that the aliens make first contact with Earth, and it only spells doom for life as we know it. Death, devastation, and mayhem. Can a single teenage boy rise to the challenge and protect his surrogate family and friends, or will he die trying? From Rodney Barnes, star writer behind Eisner-nominated series Philadelphia and the writer-executive producer of HBO's Winning Time, and up-and-coming Marvel artist Alex Linz, comes a tale of love, triumph, disaster, and defeat. This looks awesome. A new sci-fi story with a little bit of terror and horror from Rodney Barnes, who's put out Philadelphia and has been such a horror hit. Sounds like it's going to be an incredible story. Going over to Boom Studios, we've got two on Final Order Cutoff that I want to highlight, and that is Harrow #1 from Justin Jordan and Brom Revel. Nothing to fear in this quaint town of Harrow, New York, except for the Harrower. The children wish this boogeyman was just an urban legend, but this purveyor of puritanical vengeance against the unrighteous is very real. And there's no escape, because the Harrower seems unkillable and spans generations, always returning. What secrets will Alice Young, a teenage girl obsessed with the Harrower, uncover? And will she be able to escape the pool of her morbid fixation? The deconstruction of the slasher genre is the fresh and terrifying grounded take, perfect for fans of the Bone Orchard and The Closet. This sounds pretty cool, taking that typical slasher story and deconstructing it, doing something different with it. I am all here for that type of story. Also from Boom Studios is one that I absolutely have been loving. We've got Know Your Station, #3 of 5, from Sarah Gailey, the writer of Eat the Rich, which was a fantastic story that Boom put out, and artist Liana Kangas, who also just had True Cult come out from IDW, has done some incredible covers, especially for, I think End After End recently has had some of her their art on it. Due to her addiction and hallucinations, Elise grapples with the worst possibility. Is she the killer? With her bouts of super strength aren't providing any comfort from these suspicions, especially the horror of the next victim. As the horror of the next victim greets her, things are more tense and deadlier than ever as each remaining billionaire receives an anonymous, threatening message. Love this story. I love what's going on here. We've got these billionaires that have gone into space to get away from Earth, which is having these natural disasters, catastrophic climate change, and now someone is there killing them, and it is up to Elise to figure it out. Is it her? Is it somebody else on the ship? Is this happening due to her drug withdrawals or the drugs themselves? What is going on? I love this mystery. I love action that's going on in this, and the thriller side of things of who's doing it, what's going on, the suspense that's building. They're nailing it on this one. Highly recommend checking that out. Over at Black Mass Studios, we've got Destiny New York #13, the second part of the extra stories that are written and drawn by different creators from the comics community. We've got stories in here from creator of Destiny New York, Pat Shand. We've also got stories in here from Amy Shand, Brian Cogan, Erica Schultz, and art by Lisa Sturl, Claudia Aguirre, ID Software, Katie Kufel, and Manuel Pritano. And after this, it's going to restart with an issue number 1 to head into the next chapter of Destiny New York on the sunny shores of California for a very new story that I've read because these have also been parts of Kickstarters. I love this next arc that we're heading into. It is a very emotional arc, very beautiful arc. And if you haven't checked out the Destiny New York world, it is one beautiful and big and massive world that I think everyone should go check out, because not only do we have the main Destiny New York story, but Pat has been building a world where there are these spin-off stories that take characters that have maybe played a minor role in the main story and give them their own story and their own world of what's going on. And speaking of that, also coming out from Black Mass right now is Gangsters Barista, issue number 2 on FOC currently, from Pat Shand and Renzo Rodriguez. Connor Hughes has been doing some awesome covers for this, and this is no exception. In this one, former gangster Trinity's attempt to live life on the straight and narrow has been complicated by a bloody brawl, a mysterious bag, a female motorcycle gang, and a blithering idiot whose life is now in her hands. Will she be able to right her wrongs, or will she become the person she's been running from her whole life? Each issue also includes a bonus comic, and it's phenomenal. Issue 1, fantastic. I have the whole trade paperback, but I actually hadn't gotten to read it yet. So I think I'm just going to be picking these up and reading the issues because I love it. It's just a fantastic world, and can't ever have too much Destiny New York in your life. Going down, we're going to go over to Vault Comics for Door to Door Night by Night from Colin Bunn and Sally Cantorino. This is an excellent horror story about door-to-door salespeople who start encountering some supernatural things that shouldn't be happening, but they are the ones that notice because they are going into these towns and they're not there all the time, kind of not noticing these changes. In this one, they've encountered a UFO at the end of the last issue, and goblins, they're bad enough, but alien goblins from another world, that's a whole new level of messed up. The sales crew knocks on a door unlike any other, the door of a UFO. Venturing into a spaceship, the team encounters vile experiments, awful hallucinations, and a host of very curious creatures from another world. First contact is about to go wildly wrong. Next up, the last issue of e-ratic is on FOC, and that is coming to us from AWA's Upshot World, the Resistance universe. Our hero here is this 15-year-old who gets superpowers for 10 minutes a day, and really, he's just trying to live a normal life. He is dealing with all these teenage drama issues, and also, though, trying to keep himself anonymous because, of course, the Reborns in the Resistance world are not people. People don't like the people with powers. They think they're out to get them. They're sinister. There's something wrong. They're not well liked in the world, and so he is trying to hide his identity from that, all while being pursued by enemies and dealing with someone who says they're a princess from another world or another dimension, and maybe that's not true. We shall find out in this last issue. I love this story. I love this second arc of it. I hope there's more arcs and we get to see more about Oliver Leaf and his journey as e-ratic. Next up is one that I think may be pushed to a future FOC. I did not get to confirm it before filming, but Traveling to Mars number 4 was on FOC originally for this coming week, and I think that's been pushed back to later. But if you're not reading Traveling to Mars from Mark Russell and Roberto Melli, you should, because it is humorous. It is great. It's got sci-fi elements, but really it throws in this introspection and making you think about the world and life, and I love that aspect. If a comic gets you to think while also having a good sense of humor in it. And last but not least, I want to throw 3 trade paperback recommendations out there for you. First one from Vault Comics is Quests Aside, and this one from Brian Shermer and Elena Gogo. We've got essentially what happened was there was this adventuring team like you're going to find in a D&D game that they ended their adventures. One became king, one became the owner of the Quests Aside Tavern, and he kind of is the place where other adventuring parties now meet. And a skeleton, apprentice mage, and an exiled princess walk into a bar for another shift at the Quests Aside local watering hole run by once legendary, now retired adventurer Barrow. There's so much good things happening in this tension between the former adventuring party. We've got good character-driven story about their friendships and the found family that's been built at the Quests Aside. And this is one, if you are a fan of D&D, you should go pick this up because you're gonna love this story. And if you're a fan of the supernatural, if you're a fan of vampires and westerns, you're going to want to pick up West of Sundown, with written by Aaron Campbell and Tim Seeley, with art by Jim Terry. First arc of the story contained in this volume here, and it's ongoing now at Vault Comics. So there is more story that we're going to get from this world, and I am here for it. I've been enjoying every second of this story. Last but not least, one that I want to check out but haven't gotten to yet is Sacrament from AWA. And this one from Peter Milligan and Marcelo Frusin is The Exorcist meets Alien in a sci-fi horror story in the year 3000. Mankind abandoned Earth and fled to outer space. Now a disgraced priest called into action to perform an exorcism on a remote space colony is about to discover that no matter how far you run, you can't escape your demons, and the devil is in fact real. Sounds really cool. It's $9.99 for a trade paperback. I love that price point, and it looks like a cool one to check out. And so that wraps up the Final Order Cutoff picks. These all cut off on Monday, on January 16th. So let your shops know as soon as possible before then that you want any of these books. If you're interested in these books, if you're reading these books, let me know in the comments below which ones you are. If there's something I missed on FOC that you think I should be picking up based on the books that I talk about, let me know in the comments as well. And as always, collect what you love. See you next time.